Now contemporary. Okay, this is one more trick. Whenever you go through a question, try to identify the contemporary issues of that question. Okay, now if the statement or options are contemporary, then they can be taken together as right or wrong. Now we will go through question. Who of the following organized a march onto the Tanjore coast to break the salt law in April 1930? Now, if you read spectrum, this is directly given in spectrum. Okay, in civil disobedience movement, there is the mention of Tanjore march is there. Let us say you are unable to identify the person who is related with this event. Now identify the contemporary person who is contemporary to this event, April 1930. Who was active during April 1930? Now we will solve the question. See, V.O. Chidambaram Pillai, he was very active in Swadeshi movement. Annie Besant, he was very active in early 19th century or early 20th century. Okay, she was very active before 1820. After 1820, after 1920, she was not active in the politics. So she was before 1920. He was during Swadeshi movement, and K. Kamaraj, he was during 1960s. Okay, he was CM of Tamil Nadu in 1950s, and he became president of Congress, I think, in 1960s. So if a person he is president of Congress in 1960, means at least he might have at least 50 to 60 years old. If a person is 50, 60 years old, that means during this time he might be 20, at max 30 years old. And in case of at that age, it's quite difficult for that person to head the march. And C. Rajagopalachari, he was an active politician during that phase. He was a friend or the relative, even he was a relative of Gandhi. His daughter married Gandhi's son. Okay, he was a very active politician, and he was a Gandhian. In salt law, or salt law was broken in April 1930 in Dandi by Mahatma Gandhi, and he was a Gandhian. C. Rajagopalachari was the Gandhian. Think in that way, contemporary. Who did this? Gandhi. Who was the active Gandhian philosopher? This. She was not a Gandhian. She was active before Gandhi. K. Kamaraj. After independence, he rose to importance during Indira Gandhi's election or selection as a prime minister. And V.O. Chidambaram Pillai, he was during 1905 Swadeshi movement. So think about the contemporary of this issue, and this person is the most appropriate answer. You should know something about these people so that you can eliminate these people. Even if you don't know the answer directly, you can eliminate this, you can eliminate this, or at least these two you can eliminate by your general historical understanding. Okay, whenever you read post-independence history, you will know about K. Kamaraj. He was the president of Congress. Annie Besant, you know about her. You can remove these two. At least among these two, you have to choose the answer. If you don't know about V.O. Chidambaram Pillai, at least you can solve the question at least 50%. Clear? This is how you can solve using the contemporaries of that event. And the event was salt law, breaking of salt law in 1930. We have one more question on this. See, this was the question in 2020 prelims. Which of the following statements correctly explains the impact of the Industrial Revolution on India during the first half of the 19th century? Now, whenever a question comes, you have to underline all the important keywords. Statements correctly explains the impact of Industrial Revolution during the first half of 19th century. First half of 19th century means that's it. Now just go through the options and see which option is related or occurred or has impact on this period. Okay. Now railway lines after 1850. Right? The first railway which ran in India was between Mumbai and Thane in 1853. So this option is gone. Clear? Fourth, heavy duties were imposed on the imports of Britain manufacturers. If it would have been Indian government, it would have imposed heavy duties, but it was a British government. Why will they impose heavy duties? Gone. Machines were introduced in the Indian textile industry in large numbers. When was the first cotton mill was established in India? And when was the first jute mill was established in India? All those mills were after 1850s. None of the mill was established before 1850. And this is talking about this period. The question is talking about this period. This didn't happen in this period. This didn't happen in this period, and this was logically incorrect. It was the British government in India. And why will it impose taxes on British manufacturers? And anyway, industrial revolution was happening in Britain. Okay, if industrial revolution was happening, they wanted to use colonies as markets for their products. And if you want to use some colony as a market, why will that colonial government impose heavy taxes on the host country? Right? The fourth is gone, third is gone, second is gone. Answer is first. If you know what happened after 1773, okay, British colonial government used Indian revenues to buy the Indian cotton, and like it didn't give the kind of remuneration that is given to the craftsmen, to the farmers, and this is how Indian handicrafts got ruined. And deindustrialization takes place in India during that time, and many people came to the agriculture. Okay, agriculture got populated. More dependence on agriculture increased because of the industrial revolution in Britain. Okay, clear? Any doubt regarding this question?